Well, the game we've all waited for all year long. This is its State of Origin football. 4 big games this year, with one being played in Long Beach, California at the Veterans Stadium. And you'll see that on the 9 Network, August 7 at Teleghost. Mick Stone from New South Wales is the referee. And it's underway. The Winfield State of Origin kicks off. Sterling takes the ball back for New South Wales, and big defence straight away. Awesome big defence from Queensland on Sterling. And up they come. This is Jarvis swamping him down now. Plenty of a defence coming out of Queensland. On a fumble from New South Wales, a mistake, but Gary Jack cleans it up. And they clean him up right on the 22. Well, this game started exactly how we thought it would. Ball movement already as New South Wales start to throw it around, and McGaw gets belted down with some big defence with Gilmister. And Gene Miles there also to take the tackle. And look at this Queensland defence going in 3 and 4, the big hits. New South Wales still pinned in their own 22 now as Sterling now clears the ball out. Belcher perfectly positioned, takes the ball midway between the 22 and the half, and he's taken down by the Blues now. So plenty of feeling already, lots of emotion. Here at Lang Park, a capacity crowd. The banana benders hanging out of the stands all over this ground. A little bit of push and shove already. And a penalty to Queensland. Well, Jack, it started the way we predicted.
Well, the first penalty's gone to Queensland, whether they deserved it or not. I think he's going to blow that whistle a few times before this first half's over.
Queensland really charging at this attack, and Fatty Vaughton, the Manly player, will play it back to Canescu. On to Lewis. Lewis puts the accelerator down. French tries to back him up, but there's just too much defence in the shape of Crusher Cleal. Also Jarvis underneath as Langer unloads it now. He gets it out to Vaughton. There's a long pass out for Shearer. Shearer now puts the accelerator down too, and he puts the pace on. There's a dive for the ball. It's loose. And Shearer will come up with it. All right, Queensland still on the run here now. Referee says 6 to go. Langer getting it out to Dowling. He gets it over to Lewis. There's the pop ball up for Belcher. He gets it out to Jackson, but Jackson back up. And this is desperation stuff now from New South Wales. They're only 10 metres out. Queensland with a big chance here. And that's Bella charging at the line, but the defence beats him too. Canescu, listen to the crowd start to chant. Lewis, there's a little chip. Jackson, will he get there? No! Oh, so close there for New South Wales as Jackson poured through. Henninghausen cleaned it up. This is what it's all about, State of Origin. It means pressure with a capital P now as it goes out. There's the little kick from Lewis. The charge through. Henninghausen had to really come back and just palm it off. They're making ground now as Sterling puts the kicking off. Beautifully taken by Dale Shearer. He just plucked that ball out of the air. There's the pass across the back line. Now they've got a chance as Curry winds up. But he's belted down the defence to the task of New South Wales. Great football, open rugby league at the moment. Belcher up in the back line. He's a good player, this fellow. Give him a yard and he'll take 10. Canescu inside now the Blues half, just a couple of metres. Lewis trying to settle him down as he takes it forward. Canescu looking to the open side, runs. There's Langer. Well, there was no one there. Langer almost with a half bust, but Queensland just walking around behind him at the moment. Lewis, there's that little chip stab kick again. Taken by O'Connor. O'Connor winds up, and he's taken with some good defence by Lewis, and there's a little punch inside. Oh, Lewis didn't like that. O'Connor reacted to the tackle. There's a wrestling match going on, but that's nothing in that. Nothing in it at all. Well, the feelings run hot here, Ian.
Yes, boys will be boys. And a bit of a push more than a right jab from O'Connor. The referee Stone is there to find out what it's all about.
Well, it's pretty obvious this line umpire didn't see the replay here, because there's not a doubt that he was the first to object. Lewis.
Once more. There's the tackle from Lewis. Headlock from Lewis. A bit of a massage from Lewis. The talk in Brisbane in the last couple of days has been that Queensland may well regret not taking a recognised goal kicker into this match. And Jackson has all these 30,000 Queenslanders riding this kick with him. Let's watch it. looks successful. Queensland draw first blood at Lane Park. It's Queensland 2, New South Wales 0.
Langer to Lewis. And look at the big men running from inside. There's Miles again. Miles out of one. He's busted him. Miles opens him up and gets a pass away back to Lewis. And they're running around each other, these two tonight. There's Belcher now. Belcher inside the 22 again. Well, Miles is the star of this game tonight. He's making ground every time he touches. Langer looking for Lewis. He goes on his own and ducks underneath on the little fella. He's like a little jockey. Lewis calling. Here it goes to Miles again. He steps back inside. He's been doing that all night, and they're letting him do it. He flicks one over the top. So easy. Lewis now on the Gilmister. He gets it on the Fatty Vorton. Vorton wrapped up and slammed down by Kenny. NSW, Lewis. Switch of play to French. French, he had support too, but just couldn't get it away. They're turning it back inside. Here's Miles again, the danger man. Oh, there's a chance that they can unload it. Yes, they do. Oh, they're throwing it around here with Langer. Will he get there? Gets it in at the 3-5. Yes, Tony Curry's in. No try. Well, Tony Curry, the controversial player tonight, has put 2 down and doesn't score there. The defence got to him. Look at Langer. Langer almost did it himself there as he charged for the line. The defence came across. There was the ball, but no try. Oh, touch and go though.
Brian Johnson has it 32 metres out from the New South Wales line. Very strong Queensland defence. Simmons past blind side, finds Cleo out of one. The pass is out there for O'Connor. O'Connor's kick. It's a race for the ball. O'Connor. O'Connor's there. O'Connor scores. Michael O'Connor scores for New South Wales. And the New South Wales supporters in the crowd go crazy. Watch it again. The initial bust from Cleo. Nicely taken from O'Connor. Saw the defence, the kick in field. A chase between O'Connor and Langer. O'Connor much too much pace for little Langer. And down he goes, picks it up beautifully and scores a great New South Wales try.
Well, Cleo opened it up, a little shot down the blind side. It's a great take by O'Connor. And he did everything right from there on in, right to the home base.
Here is the kick from O'Connor, and it's hit beautifully. Struck lovely right between the post. And New South Wales lead Queensland 6 points to 2.
Gives Sterling the pat. Ball New South Wales crowd don't agree, but they got the ball. Gary Jack has burst out of the open. A big chance now for New South Wales is Gary Jack. Oh, the great run takes play deep inside the 22, and the Blues on the attack now. The ball's spinning around. Here's Kenny now with everything he's got, but did well there to stay in the field of players. It comes out now. Let's see what the Blues can do. Johnson goes for a charge at the line. Belted down though, and they're only about 10 metres out, 8 minutes out. Now it comes now to Sterling. Sterling looking for the link up, and there's Crusher Cleo bashing and barging his way forward. New South Wales on a roll at the moment. Simmons gets it out to Sterling. Sterling going across looking for the link up. Tried to get McGaw and couldn't, and the ball rolls into touch. Oh, and the crowd react to that. And look at Sterling too. He ran across trying to link up with McGaw then. Eddinghausen not too happy about that. Let's see it again. Here is the pass. Well, rolls into touch. Eddinghausen trying to get it. This scrum packed down. New South Wales to the feet again. Sterling breaks with Pearce. Making it out to Eddinghausen now. He'll play it back. There's Crusher Cleo has come in for a bit of work, but this defence is reading it pretty well at the moment. But New South Wales very deep. They come out there with Stephen Folkes. Folkes only about 5 metres out. Here's the charge from Davidson, and he's there. Davidson with a huge jump. He couldn't get it down. They rolled him over and he couldn't get it down. And look at Buddy Willie. We'll wait and see. It is a try. Yes, sir. Well, they got it down. Why don't we see the replay on that one? Because he went in, they rolled him over, but Davidson with a big charge. See it again here now on Nines Wide Weather Sports as they go, and there it is. Bang, the ball went down, and that's when they rolled him back.
Well, Davison makes the try, but if they stopped, even if he hadn't have scored, I still thought he'd been the best player on the paddock up to this play. He certainly worked very hard in defence. And here he comes up. He's done all that tackling, and he comes up with a 4-pointer.
O'Connor moves in. There it goes. Waved away this time, though. Not a good attempt from Michael O'Connor. So the score remains New South Wales 10, Queensland 2. Comes back to Lewis. Will he kick? No, he decides to run it. A welcoming committee too for W. Lewis. And here's Shearer now. Shearer ducks on the one. He's gone with a little chip and kick and a follow. The chase is on. But it looks like Ettinghausen will win the race. Yes, he does. The ball is loose. Yes. Oh, go. Well, this game is being played at 100 mile an hour as Ron Willie relaxes again. Holy moly, everything happening at the moment. Watch it again as Shearer makes the bust. Comes down there. There was McGaw coming inside to try and cut him off. Shearer put the toe to the ball. Now the chase was on. Ettinghausen showing plenty of pace as he came through. Oh, and just touched the ball. Then it rolled loose and Shearer claimed the try, but no go.
Now this is a golden opportunity now for Queensland with half-time in sight. They're inside the corner. What can they do? Here's Bella taking it up hard. Caught by Folks. Davidson only 10 metres out now, Queensland. Gilmister turns it back to Conescu. French standing in the tackle. Finally put down 9 metres out. Across to Lewis. Long pass to Jackson. Jackson trying to turn it back inside. Can't do so. New South Wales defence too good. That's Miles showing it. The straightening and standing and offloading to Conescu. And off it goes to French. Last tackle signal now for Queensland. Lewis goes back for the bomb, elects to run it, and gives it across the goal. It's a try! It's a try! Well, the referee took an eternity to make up his mind. But Dowling, the try scorer. Watch this one with us because it was Lewis standing on the blind side. New South Wales waiting for the kick. Elected to run, and the short little pass to Dowling went through 2 defenders and finally grounded the ball. And Queensland are in for their first try.
It's a good play. Lewis there, he just held it up. He got the job done, Dowling. You don't have to hold it there for 20 minutes. Touched it down.
That's how Jackson sees this. And it's a horror. Oh, it's an awful kick. A kick that Peter Jackson will want to forget.
Gee, that'd be a poor kickoff, let alone a goal shot.
So it remains 10-6 New South Wales over Queensland. Here's that horrible kick again. Oh, no more, please. And there's the half-time siren. New South Wales lead Queensland by 10 points to 6. And there it is. 2 tries to 1 for New South Wales, a goal apiece.
Thank you, Michael. Well, the kickoff just taken. Gary Belcher running it out just outside the 22 for Queensland. Now, let's have a look at this situation of State of Origin. There is the longest winning sequence of 3 matches, and they've both done that, New South Wales and Queensland, as Lewis now drives the ball deep. Back for Gary Jack, and he'll run it back. Not one team has ever won this series 4 times, so interesting there. Last year, of course, game 1. Gary Jack has been hit there and is down. Well, that was a big hit. Referee Stone going over and having a look at the players. Well, Gary Jack's really gone down very, very hard here. Jack Gibson, that was a big hit.
No, he stopped a pretty solid one there. Come over knee, I thought.
Here it is again. And correct, yes. Yeah, just copped the knee of Gilmister. Still they come through Jarvis this time, and they're almost well, about 10 metres out from the 22, so 32 metres out from their line now as New South Wales claw it on with McGaw. McGaw stepping back inside, but Queensland meet him. Gary Jack at the dummy half position. Folks. Sterling. For Kenny, a little dummy from Kenny, still going. Kenny trying to link up, turns the ball back inside, a good pass back inside for Pearce. Pearce handballs it away, gives it a crash to Cleo. Cleo belting his way forward, but they beat him again. Oh, the close up, and they've come up with the ball too. Jackson has the ball for Queensland. Now they fumble it. Cleo again. Charges They held him up with the ball. Well, Ian Maurice, some chances went begging, some sloppy play, and Crusher right on the ball.
And a couple of goes, didn't he?
The Queenslanders touch the ball. They're packed to the rafters here at Lang Park, and what an enthralling battle. 10-6. And this man has been going forward all night, Martin Bella. He's plenty big, plenty tough, and plenty strong. Lewis back inside again to Miles, and Miles is doing so much damage. The ball comes out of his hand, and it's a penalty to Queensland. Listen to him.
That penalty got approved. A fair whistle.
You think I like that one, Jack?
Yeah, there's got a little cheer out there somewhere.
Lewis finds the line. As deadly as a black widow spider is Wally Lewis with his kicks. He knows this ground like his own backyard. And through they come, the Queenslanders. And up goes the chant now. The crowd comes alive, and as Fanny Morton straightens up, and he's only 10 metres out and Bella down. Queensland now on the attack. He plays it forward again. Oh, it's a big defence in there for the Blues. Pressure clear going, and it's a penalty Queensland. Oh, listen to him go off here. Wally Lewis having plenty to say at the moment. He's saying, let's have a shot for goal. Now, remember the kicking of Jackson in the first half. It was a shocker, the last attempt. Now, here's the incident. Borton going forward. They come up, slam him down. And, it was in that play with Gary Jack. Okay, pressure kick here. 10-6, important. Jackson not kicking well. A big job for Queensland here tonight with New South Wales in front, and it's another horror. Oh, it's a bad one. Oh, and Gary Jack makes the break. He takes it from the end goal. There in comes out quickly and takes play almost to the 22. About 4 metres short as Crusher Cleo goes for a run. But he went sideways that time. He was easy pickings.
Simmons at nearly half. It's time to Jarvis, and again Jarvis takes it over the halfway mark. 10-6, New South Wales lead. Sterling blindside with Jack. O'Connor. Gary Jack's a player who's always shines in these big games.
These bloodlines are true. As tough as they come, Jack.
And a nice kick too. Roll over and over and bringing up the touch judge's flag, only 5 metres out from the Queensland line. Fine kick from Sterling.
See, the pace of this game has had to take away the action a little bit.
Fed by Langer. That's with Lewis. 12 metres out from the Queensland line. 10-6. Almost on the corner now, Miles, as he plays it back to Vorton. Vorton runs into some trouble with folks.
Yeah, at the moment, they haven't got a back line. Queensland, they're just taking it one out and ready for the kick.
Now Lewis's kick is down for Gary Jack. And he's on his own quarter. It's 10-6, Darryl.
Jung Eddinghausen brings it back, and he's got some place. Eddinghausen too, as he busts it off the middle and brings it back over the halfway line. Oh, he's got some acceleration, and Jack, you'd know all about that.
Well, you can't give him much space. He's really quick, and they say he can turn the light out and get in bed before it gets dark.
Sort of going nowhere. There's Bennett, Mr. Emotion, as I call it. He shows no emotion. And here they are with a chance now. New South Wales starting to stretch out, and Kenny slips a lovely ball over, and that's a try. Thank you very much to O'Connor. Number 2 for Michael O'Connor, the Manly star that's got it all. Oh, has he got some skills, this fellow? Scored a sensational try in the first half, and it's just gone in again. See it again as the ball comes roaring across the line here now. And mark this down to Kenny. Kenny, look at him across. Now he sees a little gap. How does he get the ball away? And O'Connor with a juggle slams it down for try number 2.
Without doubt, this is Kenny's try. He held it up and held it up till he got all those 3 or 4 defensive players all aside to go for him. When they come in, That's when he released it.
Enjoy the kick of Michael O'Connor. Look at that, a beauty right between the posts, and that took the score 16-6. Gary Belcher back in position again. He takes it. Gary Smith is now on for Queensland in number 15. We'll pick him up in a moment. Jackson up the centre. Can he leak up? Yes, he does. Shearer heading right over the post. And that's a great comeback try for Queensland. And Peter Jackson. Oh, he made the break. He busted him up the middle. And Shearer finished it off. And that's a great comeback from Queensland. A beauty. The crowd's gone absolutely mad here. Look at Jackson. He took the ball off Lewis. He strode down the field. He had all the time in the world as Shearer came through, put it in a second gear, then got it into overdrive and right down between the posts. And Queensland come back.
It's certainly great play by Jackson. He went straight up centre field. And he was waiting for somebody, and who should be tailing him? Probably the fastest player on the field.
16 points to 10 with a kick to come. Anything can happen.
Yes, and this is Gary Belcher taking the conversion attempt for Queensland and making no mistake. And there's 4 points in it again. Wharton, Miles. One-handed pass to Gilmester, back to Wharton. Back to Bella. They lost about 10 metres in that play. The penalty's gone to Queensland. Interested to see what happened there.
Well, they certainly got the last couple of penalties have been sweetheart penalties. I mean, in the heat of the battle.
Well, Boyle taking the ball off him and penalised for doing it. Here comes Queensland now. Lewis gets a pass out. He's in! He's in! Tony Carey in for Queensland! Oh, how quick that was! Here it is again. Watch it with us. It was Lewis popping the pass up. But Tony Curry diving and scoring right in the corner.
Well, they left the blind side skinny, and everyone's waiting for Lewis to do something, and he obliges. Well, this is what you call a very tough kick. If it goes over, it'll get some recognition between this 30,000 people here.
So Gary Belcher, who's taken over the goal-kicking duties from Jackson, hits it. It's wide. Wow. 3.5 minutes remaining and 16 all. He couldn't have written a better script than this, Jack.
Well, it's 3.5 minutes. Somebody's got to do something.
Now it's down for Belcher. Ooh, and Bunjara. Good tackle. Who was it? Wayne Pearce, of course. Miles. Lost the ball, Miles. The Blues have it. Here's Kenny. Kenny over the corner. Now, what can the Blues do? It's with Sterling. It's with Folks. Folks just inside the Queensland quarter. Boyle.
Field goal time.
There's the clock. There's the field goal attempt from Sterling. Missed. He's missed it. Well, he seemed to be a little off balance. Queensland defence knew it was on.
And they were a little offside too.
So Queensland have the football again. 2 minutes, 18 seconds remaining. 16 points all in this first State of Origin match at Lang Park as Martin Bella has it 32 metres out from his own line. Here's Borton, caught by Simmons. Ron Willie, nail-biting time for him as well. It's back for Lewis. Out of Sterling's tackle, trying to link up with Curry. His kick knocked back by Kenny. So the Blues have it again on the halfway mark. Gary Jack. Just inside Queensland territory. Cleal from dummy half. Made about 5 or 6 metres. There's the top clock ticking down. 1:28. Davidson. Got to work themselves into a drop kick situation here.
Well, they've been sitting offside, the Queenslanders, but there's no way. I don't think he's given them a chance to kick a goal at this stage.
Ettinghausen getting it over the ball. Inside pass for Ettinghausen's gone astray. Over the Queensland line. Over the dead ball line. Well, what's he going to rule here? He's going to rule a try. Oh, we'll talk about this. They'll be talking about this for ages. Through the smoke, you can see the Queensland players disgusted. The try awarded to Mark McGaw, but I'll be vitally interested in looking at this. Here it is again. That's Ettinghausen, a pass that may have been forward. McGaw turning the ball back inside, knocked down by Queensland. Kicked ahead, I think. Now watch the ball all here. Well, that was McGaw getting his hand to it, I think. This will be a controversial decision and a brave decision by referee Stone. Full-time hooter is sounded. Well, this match has ended in dramatic circumstances. We'll watch O'Connor's kick and then we'll have another look at that try. Oh, drama charge match. O'Connor's kick hits the upright. So New South Wales win by 20 points to 16, but I'd dearly love to have another look at that try. Here it is again. Now McGaw is number 3, striving to get to the ball, being pushed out of the way, in fact, by the Queensland player. Well, I think he got there.
Well, it was pretty close to a penalty try because Jackson really harassed that runner for the 5 or 6, 7 for the full 10 yards. He took hold of him, and it was a tough decision, but he made it.
Well, there we are. What a drama ending to this match.